Gradually, when pipelines come, all the CNG stations will also have pipe gas coming to them, and then they filling it in the vehicles. So we have given them licenses, and we have put certain targets for them, that in 3 years you must do so many houses, in 5 years you should do so many houses. So it is our task, it is our duty to monitor that, and if they do not complete it, then we have powers to take action against them. So this is the work which PNGR has been doing for the last 16, 17 years. I am happy to say that Tamil Nadu is fully covered with these licenses. Chennai city has a torrent, and just outside the Kanchipuram GA, which has your outer area, is with AG&P, and Adani is in other places. So I have come here to see, supervise, to monitor, to encourage them. And what has happened is that since it is a new gas, many people are reluctant. They say that we are happy with LPG, why should we take PNG? Then the local bodies don't give permission very readily because it needs digging up. A pipe has to be dug up, so they're afraid that there are Damar roads, there are asphalted roads. Many people who have very nice houses, in their kitchen they have marble, they have granite, so the yellow pipe will come in. They are also reluctant. So what we have done is, we have launched a nationwide drive, which started on the 26th of January. So from 26th of January till 31st of March, we have launched a nationwide drive to make people aware that, look, it is a clean fuel. Natural gas is at least 20% less emission than diesel and petrol, and it got 50% less emission than coal. It's a clean fuel. It's convenient. It, like water comes into your house, you switch a tap on, you put it, you get the flame going. So unlike, LPG cylinder, you have to go fill it up, etc. Then LPG is mostly imported, but PNG is half imported, half we produce in our country. So it is clean. There are other advantages. If it leaks, then it's a light gas, it goes up in the air. LPG is not a light gas, it settles down and there is a fear of fire, etc. And it is cheaper. It is cheaper than LPG, it is also cheaper than petrol. So it is a clean fuel, it is a convenient fuel, it is a cheaper fuel. So this campaign that we have launched is meant to make people aware and tell these companies that go to people's homes, convince them, get the pipeline laid, convince the local bodies, please give us permission. So today I happen to be here because it's a very tight schedule. It's a Sunday, I couldn't meet the Tamil Nadu government officials. Maybe I will come again and I will meet the Chief Minister. I will also like to call on the Honorable Chief Minister, Chief Secretary, and seek their support. That this is, and the Prime Minister has given a call that the share of natural gas in India's energy is only 6%. Globally, it is 25%. So India also wants to be a developed country. We also need to grow this clean fuel, sustainable fuel in our energy mix. So I have basically come here and I, laid the foundation stone of one CNG station of Torrent, and I went to the other one, as I told you, and I've seen their offices, went to AG&P office, I've met with the officials of all these companies. So after your press conference, I'm going to review the progress in Tamil Nadu, and I do hope that through your support and cooperation, you will help us to run this campaign successfully, reach out to people and tell them that piped natural gas is good, compressed natural gas is good vehicles. So electric mobility will take some time, not before 15 years, 20 years. The charging stations on all highways and uninterrupted supply of power is a little far away. So until then, this is a bridge fuel. For the next 15, 20 years, CNG is the best fuel for the country for transport. And piped natural gas, of course, is a sustainable fuel for the next 50-60 years. I don't see any challenge to it as a cooking fuel. So this is my message to you. Thank you very much for coming here in such large numbers and hearing me.
If the economics are so compelling, why is that these things like, laying a pipeline, breaking the kitchen wall and so on, are those things so important? Why is that option not picked up in the south?
When LPG came, my mother tells me that people were reluctant to put LPG into their house. They said it is a bomb, it will explode. So I think change is something which people resist. LPG, 2 cylinders you have in your house, you are confident, ye chalega. Piped natural gas, what happens if it doesn't come? So we did a survey recently, we found that people are keen. One reason is that the pipeline has not reached, because these are new developments. So let's say I was talking to Mr. Abhilesh, CEO of AG&P, in his area, I think, what is that area called? Or the new building? OMR Road. There are, I think, he was saying 500 buildings, 50,000 apartments. So now the pipeline is going in front of everybody's apartment, and he is confident that by the year end, he will give 50,000 connections. So it's a slow progress, new, I think a resistance to something new.
Does India have a gas storage capacity,
Look,
Because
storage.
LPG terminal is more expensive, right? So there is enough gas storage.
No, storage gives us comfort. India produces 50% present consumption, 50% is imported, 50% we produce in KG Basin, Bombay High, in Gujarat, even in your Kaveri Basin we produce oil and gas, and in Assam. So it's a constant supply. The reservoir behavior is, people know that this is going to keep producing. And ONGC, Oil India, Reliance, all these people have entered into firm arrangements that we will keep giving you gas. So gas is going to keep coming. Storage, we need to have gas storages. And now that gas is becoming significant, because if you do storage, there will be a cost. So that cost will be passed on to the consumers. So now Petroleum Ministry is thinking of creating storages, and we are also thinking. But LNG terminals are not, they also serve the function of a storage, but they are not principally storage. They are the place where this gas which comes under minus 160 degrees centigrade, it is stored in that shape. Ships keep coming, going, so some constant supply has to be maintained. So they are not storage per se. What you have in mind, storage, tomorrow if there is a war in the Gulf and the importer doesn't come, that storage we are yet to build.
So like we have storage for oil, Visakhapatnam and Mangalore. There is a plan to build storage.
There is a plan to build this storage also.
Can you tell us a little more about those plans?
Now what has happened is, let us not forget, the pipeline is also a storage. So we have got pipelines in the country to cater to almost, I think, 350 million standard cubic meters of gas per day.
The pipelines carry capacity.
But the consumption presently is not more than 180. Now, pipeline is a phenomena where you have to fill it up. If you don't fill it up, gas will not move. So we already have a storage in the pipeline system. Number two, the LNG regasification terminals, Ennore, Dahej, Hazira, Dabhol, and your Kochi, Mundra, all of them have these capacities as well. Now the new term storages which you want to know about, a global standard place for storage of gas is the empty reservoirs of oil and gas. Let's say from your Kaveri Basin, when you have taken out oil and gas, so pores inside the earth, they get empty. So they get filled up with water probably, they don't remain empty. So if you, with pressure, pump gas into it, it displaces the water and comes in. And then you release the pressure, it comes out. So globally, the reservoirs of oil and gas serve as a storage. So in India, Petroleum Ministry is thinking that in Gujarat, where we have about a 40-50-year-old history of exploiting oil and gas. So the reservoirs are available for doing that. So they are thinking of doing that, and we will also support them that in the tariff which I fix for pipelines, there we can build in a little cost to take care of that cost. So that is what is still, the blueprint is being made. I think GAIL has been asked by the Petroleum Ministry to prepare the plans for gas storage. So let us see, it is happening.
I have another question. I've read in one of your own interviews earlier that you have made this very interesting point that the gas market is highly fragmented. You have administered price, you have non-administered price, and then you have prices fixed application-wise. Not a very wise thing, not a very sustainable thing to do. As a regulator, how do you see it? You made the point yourself, but what is the remedy for it?
Look, firstly, pricing has been kept out of my domain. So I can only do pricing for the pipelines, because these pipelines ultimately will convert into common carrier. So today, let us say Torrent has got rights to sell, so they are laying the pipelines. I think exclusivity is 25 years, 30 years, 20. So for 25 years, the pipeline exclusivity. I think marketing is for 15 years? 8. For 8 years, nobody else can sell gas in Chennai. After 8 years, somebody else can request Torrent, but I also want to put my gas and sell. So I will fix the tariff. Otherwise, let us say, theoretically, if Torrent didn't want somebody else to come in, they'll ask a bomb for the transportation tariffs. So we have been given those rights. So the pricing per se is not in my domain, only the pipeline business. But the pricing of ONGC gas, the problem comes in because ONGC's gas has been allocated for some uses at a lower price. But 50% of the gas which comes into the country comes from Qatar or USA or Australia. It comes at international prices. So this is what I have mentioned. It's a historical issue, legacy issue. When gas was coming in, you wanted to create usage for it. So you said, okay, we'll give you cheaper. Now the migration from that regime to the new regime is a little complex. And I'm sure that the same thing happened in oil. In petroleum products in 2002, when the APM was finished, administered pricing mechanism, then the government said that we will no longer control the prices of diesel and petrol. And even ONGC was immediately given market prices for its crude production. But it has taken some time now for the last, since the NDA government came in, so last 6, 7 years, 8 years, now diesel and petrol prices are market determined. So it took some time. No, that is for you to say. I will not say it. Yeah. So anybody else other than my friend here, otherwise we can come back.
About prices being competitive. When you compare LPG and PNG, what's the price difference there? And we are not, as consumers, you can't see prices changing. It's not very transparent. You don't get to see prices very transparently. LPG, there's an announcement every month, we know there's a change. When the change is going to be. Doesn't happen with PNG.
You are right. PNG is, as I mentioned to you, that largely in the hands of the government companies. When it is in the hands of the government companies, there is a greater sensitivity to the price and the government's oversight is more interfering. In the case of piped natural gas, it is in the hands of the private sector and we want them to develop on free principles. But it is not that the government has no role in the price of the PNG. The reason being that government is giving them cheap natural gas from ONGC to sell to two segments, which is cooking and transport. For industry and commercial, we don't give them cheap gas. It's up to them. They know very well that if they make it expensive, people will no longer take, so they are conscious. In the case of PNG and CNG, government does have an oversight that we are giving them cheap gas and they should not, number one. Number two, whatever price we may give them the gas, but they have to sell it in the open market. If CNG becomes expensive, nobody will shift away from those vehicles. So if they make their PNG expensive, LPG users will not give it. So just like any other commodity, government doesn't necessarily control prices of surf or washing powder or soap, etc. So we have to make sure that there is a competition. That is why after exclusivity period, others will come in and then market forces will prevail.
But even now, price, there is not much of a difference between LPG and CNG. So when you take auto LPG, take CNG, auto drivers say there is no difference. In fact, sometimes they say it's higher than LPG. Is that so? What is the current price, sir?
The prices vary from one GA to another. I'm not sure what the latest prices are. Maybe our colleagues from. What is the price here for? And the prices of CNG and these petrol cannot be directly correlated because there is a fuel efficiency. So that is sold in kg, that is sold in liter. But I'm told that transport. So can you please explain? Aaj yahan jaiye. Please come. Can you explain how much does an auto rickshaw or a car, how does it make a difference in terms of per kilometer running cost?
For example, car. So now this 88 rupees 50 paise, that is our per kg of the per CNG. When you go for the petrol, this cost is 111 rupees, whichever it is. When you run it, even if I have put my old car, I used to get that 15 kilometer when I was having my engine petrol. When I converted it to CNG, I'm getting 30 kilometers. Almost double the cost I'm saying. Cost wise, if I work out that, almost 30 to 40%, which we are saying on the side, like a petrol car side. When you go for the autos also, now most of the autos are going for the CNG autos. If you go for it, earlier LPG autos, now there was a RFC conversion was there. Now what happened, people prefer to go for the new autos. Even Bajaj and all, they started to stop the manufacturing the LPG autos. The reason is that because they are also saving per day around 200 to 300 rupees they are saving per day. Because every day they put some 3 kg, they save that. So when you work out almost 6,000 to 7,000 rupees per auto person per month we save. For them 200 is very important. So cost wise as well as now availability, also it's a predominantly available wherever. It is like a...
Okay, that's fine.
Do you allow hydrogen driving?
Not as yet.
Are you considering that?
We are considering it. We are doing pilots, PNG, RB, because hydrogen will ultimately flow through pipes. So until we get a full hydrogen economy where the whole pipeline system can carry just hydrogen, natural gas pipeline will be the preferred medium. So globally it is believed that up to 20% blending of hydrogen natural gas is possible. So we are doing experiments. One we are doing in Indore, another we are doing in Gujarat, and the third one we are doing in Assam, where we are blending hydrogen up to 10% in some societies and seeing that when it goes up, does the weight differential make a difference? The hydrogen and natural gas, does it get separated? When it leaks, what is the smell? What is the quality of the energy that it generates? So we are considering that.
Can the pipelines take it?
Yeah, so that is what globally it is believed, that our existing metal of the pipeline will probably be able to take 20%, up to 20% blending, though it's not been commercially operated so far. So it is an experimental stage in various parts of the world. Though there are views, people say that it may not be feasible, but we are working with the World Bank to do it.
Is the industry demanding this? They're asking you?
Yes, the government, no, not industry, it is not reached. Where is the hydrogen right now?
No, but there are some people say once you start allowing the hydrogen economy will
So MNRE, the Renewable Energy Ministry, is the nodal agency in the government for hydrogen. They have asked us to develop the regulations, the technical standards, safety standards for blending of hydrogen in natural gas pipelines. So we are doing a study with World Bank, trying to get the international experience and trying to see what is possible, what is not possible.
Sir, in past 3 months, Chennai faced a shortage of auto CNG fuels. Chennai is now only 3 auto petrol bunks supplied to auto CNG. Any plan to develop any auto CNG station Only Chennai is the Torrent gas only supply 3 auto CNG, sir. Any plan to extend this auto CNG stations?
I'm told Chennai has got 65 CNG stations.
Yes, we have 67 stations are there. 67 stations are there. எப்படி ஒரு 3 ஸ்டேஷன்
இல்ல நிறைய ஆட்டோஸ் பேசும்போது
நீங்க இப்போ 67 ஸ்டேஷன் இருக்கு சென்னை பெட்ரோல் ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு. இன்னும் அப்படியே வளர்ந்துட்டே போகும். இப்போ பார்த்தா உங்களுக்கு வந்து அதான் 3 ஸ்டேஷன் எப்படி உங்களுக்கு 67 ஸ்டேஷன் டிஸ்ப்ளே இருக்கு.
நான் இன்னைக்கு காலையில ஒரு 15 ஸ்டேஷனுக்கு போனேன். 15 ஸ்டேஷன்ல சப்ளை இல்லைன்னு சொல்றாங்க.
ஒரு அது முன்னாடி எடுத்துக்கலாம். இப்போ அந்த மாதிரி நானே அந்த மாதிரி சான்ஸ் வராது.
No, it will gradually increase. It will gradually increase. There's a very good policy that all the petrol pumps of the oil companies where they sell diesel petrol, they are also wherever space is there for a tank and storage, they are also adding CNG. So CNG will be available.
222 stations will be there.
222 stations is in the Chennai
There we
city.
are 67. By March end we will be 80, and then 222 is our target.
Which are the major pipeline projects coming up in India? We know of this one, this Ennore-Barsi, that's 800 something kilometers. By the way, if there is an update on that, I will be grateful.
बता सकते हो?
Sir, apart from this Ennore-Tuticorin pipeline, we are also having this Kochi-Kuttanad-Bangalore pipeline, which will be passing through Tamil Nadu itself, and works in Tamil Nadu are going on presently. Apart from this, Indradhanush gas grid is also developing covering the northeastern sector, so that the gas evacuation from northeast can either be used there or in the mainland of India. And then apart from this Mumbai-Nagpur-Jharsuguda pipeline is another important pipeline that is coming up. So these are some of the key pipelines that will be
So pipelines we will keep developing more and more. And Tamil Nadu is a very essential critical part because the LNG terminal in Kochi was established in 2014. So we tried to bring gas from there to Tamil Nadu through various connections, but there was a problem on the government's decision here not to allow anything other than along the highways. So things got delayed, but now I think the companies have started laying the pipelines as per the government's mandate, and then the Ennore station came up. So when Ennore came up, then Kochi became less relevant, and it is coming from there. So still there are pipelines which have to come along the east coast because there is a national gas grid. So there's as like you yourself mentioned that the pressure has to be maintained. So if there is a complete gas grid connectivity and all the pipelines are filled up, then if the flow doesn't come from here, it comes from there. If there is an accident here, you close this pipeline, then it can come from there. So the national grid is being developed by the PNGRB. So along the east coast, now we have a LNG terminal at Paradeep, at Dhamra. So from Dhamra, a pipeline has to come all the way down, and from Chennai, from your Ennore also pipeline is going up. So that entire thing will get linked, and then from Dhamra it is connected to Urja Ganga, which is coming from UP all the way to eastern India. So HBJ from Hazira in the Arabian Sea coast, you go all the way up to Uttar Pradesh. From Uttar Pradesh you go eastwards, and then that comes and connects to Dhamra in Odisha, and from Dhamra you come. So pipeline network is yep. I think last 3-4 questions, and then
what is the status of CNG and PNG connections in Tamil Nadu, sir? All your companies, what is the progress made?
we have the numbers.
We have the numbers as on November.
Sir, now Tamil Nadu, sir.
He's going to review it only now.
No, but Tamil Nadu numbers are there with us.
17,000 connections.
बता दो. What is the target and what is the number? We have got Tamil Nadu numbers. We have got.
Cumulative targets that have been assigned to these companies that are required to be done by 2030 or 31, depending on when the authorizations were given. The cumulative target is about 2.2 crores, and till date they have done more than 17,000 connections, and other works are in progress.
So when were these
They were
GAs?
given in 2019 and 20.
So
and then
these
COVID
GA
came
Tamil Nadu geographical areas or licenses are given in the last round only, the last major round. You see, right now I am doing a round for Northeast, Sikkim, Srinagar and Ladakh. So that before this, the main round which happened was only in 2019.
2 years of COVID
2 years of COVID. So Tamil Nadu has not seen a major growth because of the only recent development. But the
you can say that there is a lot of pipeline which is being laid.
Yes, yes.
So, but the target is to go to 2.2 crores. So, actually, the target is all the LPG users are under our focus. They should convert. But still, I think the ones which are getting under PM Ujjwala Yojana, they probably get subsidized. And in the rural areas, in the villages, PNG will be the last to get there because the cost of laying the pipeline in those dispersed villages will be high. Yeah.
So, is the deadline being shifted?
So deadline was
2.2.
No, I think the deadline for 220, the target for 2030 will remain.
yes, sir.
It is only the the MWP the minimum work program commitments were deferred, but the target for achievement of 2.2 crore by 2030-31 remains. Any last questions?
Importation, LNG importation terminals, I understand that they are only about half utilized capacity. It's a waste of.
Sir, you know the entire oil and gas industry, it seems. Yeah, so it is, you are saying it is waste.
It's lying, no? Underutilized is a waste of capital. No?
LNG terminal, yeah.
What is the ministry doing?
No, I am not ministry. But LNG terminals and pipelines are like highways. First highway comes, then car comes. So LNG terminals are set up. Then people get assured LNG milega. Then they set up fertilizer plant, they set up power plant. Some of it starts beforehand. Nobody sets up a 4,000 crore investment without some, contractual arrangements. Now that is one. The second, so these terminals will get utilized with the passage of time. Second thing is LNG terminals are, you see, the liquefaction terminals in Qatar and USA, they will be 100% utilized because they are set up with a gas field in mind. This gas will come here, liquefy, it will be shipped out. But regas terminals over the world are only utilized to the extent of, I think, 60-65% because they are waiting for an opportunity. Like in Morbi, in Gujarat, where you have most of your tiles. You also have a lot of tiles in Tamil Nadu. So when the LNG prices go up, they shift to propane. When propane prices are low, then they shift. So LNG receiving terminals actually tap on opportunity which availability, pricing, demand offer. So they will never get 100% utilized. But yes, in India, you are saying 50%. Some terminals are very new. Dhamra just got commissioned. So that is not a problem. In Gujarat, 26% of the total energy used in Gujarat is gas. All over India, it is 6%. So it is because Gujarat has a long history of gas. So now when gas comes to Ennore, then Tamil Nadu will also probably. So you have a lot of coal being burnt here. I was coal secretary. So naval lignite and all the lignite and your plant. So you have to also move away from coal someday. So thank you very much. Thank you.
You are a regulator. Do you have power to penalize?
Yes, of course. But depends which areas. The work which I have been given, I can penalize. I can't penalize everybody.
So you have penal those.
So I do.
Number of regulators. You have a director general of natural hydrocarbons.
They are not a statutory regulator. I am a regulator created by an act. DG Hydrocarbon is created by a resolution of the Petroleum Ministry. So don't compare me with them.
So you spoke about that nationwide drive, sir. So can you expand on that, sir?
Yeah, so this drive has been taken up with all the companies. They have an association and then the oil marketing companies, BPC, HPC. So there was an impression which they conveyed to us in Delhi that unlike, other fuels, let us say for renewable energy, you see such government, every day there is some news item. Hydrogen, there is a big push. LPG, you see hoardings all over, Ujjwala and all those things. So they were saying that when we go to people's house, they ask them, PNG, say, what is PNG? Nahi, hame nahi samajh mein aata hai. So they said that unless and until there is a there's a governmental push and there's a high visibility campaign, we will not be able to move to PNG. So we said, all right, we will coordinate it. So we brought all the oil companies, gas companies together and we got some advertisements matter prepared and we said that, look, it's a campaign, so you have to do something special. Now, AGP has said that during this period, they will not take 6,000 rupees of the connection charges. For 1 month, I think gas will be for free. So I'm sure Torrent and others will also come out with similar schemes. So it creates a lot of favorable environment. I have also written letters to Chief Secretaries. I have written to Chief Secretary Tamil Nadu that please tell the municipal authorities to be a little generous in giving permissions. Tamil Nadu is very good in that sense that its VAT rates on CNG, PNG are low. 5%, we are very happy. In some states they are 15%, 18%. So it punishes the clean fuel. So VAT rates are good. Tamil Nadu is also very progressive. It has given a policy of dig and restore. They can dig themselves and fix it themselves. In many states, they take a lot of money. So they take 3 times the money as if it's a source of income for them. So there the progress is slow. So I have a feeling that in Tamil Nadu, the achievements are going to be much better very fast. Any other thing? We can discuss otherwise. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming. You know everything. You could have sat here and taken